2026 will not be a neutral year. It will not quietly pass while you figure things out. It will either widen the gap between you and financial confidence, or it will become the year you finally take structural control. Most people think they need a bigger salary. They think they need a better investment. They think they need the perfect moment to start. They don't. They need 5 deliberate moves, and most people skip them. That's why 2 people earning the same income can live in completely different financial realities. One feels constant pressure. The other feels increasing control. One reacts to every unexpected bill. The other barely flinches. The difference is not intelligence, it's not luck, and it's not hustle. It's structure. 2026 will reward people who build structure and punish those who drift. Inflation will continue testing your spending discipline. AI and automation will continue reshaping job markets. Markets will fluctuate, headlines will exaggerate. Social media will tempt you into comparison. Opportunities will appear, and so will risks. If you enter this year without a plan, you will react to all of it emotionally. If you enter with a plan, you will move strategically. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most financial advice focuses on surface habits, budgeting apps, cutting coffee, tracking every dollar obsessively. But the real leverage points, they're deeper, they're structural, and they compound quietly. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact 5 moves that matter most in 2026. Not 20 steps, not overwhelming theory. 5. Each one builds on the next. Each one strengthens your position. Each one reduces financial stress while increasing long-term growth potential. If you're in your 20s, this plan will accelerate your momentum. If you're in your 30s, it will correct silent inefficiencies. If you're in your 40s, it will protect and optimize what you've built. If you're in your 50s, it will sharpen your transition toward retirement security. And if you're already feeling behind, this is exactly where you start. But before we begin, I want you to do something simple. In the comments, write one word: control. Because that's what this year is about. Not chasing trends, not gambling on hype, not hoping markets save you. Control. If you're serious about making 2026 different, hit the like button, not for the algorithm, but as a signal to yourself that you're done drifting. And subscribe to Finn Explains Money, because this channel exists for one reason: to make financial clarity practical. Now, let's get into the 5 moves most people skip, starting with the one that determines whether everything else works.
Move 1. Redesign your money flow before you try to grow it. That's backwards. If your financial system leaks, more income just leaks faster. Think of your money like water entering a house through pipes. If the pipes are cracked, turning up water pressure doesn't help. It floods the house. In 2026, your first move is not investing more. It's restructuring how money moves through your life. There are only 3 destinations for income: fixed obligations, variable lifestyle spending, and wealth building. If wealth building is whatever remains at the end of the month, you are operating from leftovers. Leftovers do not build financial independence. You need intentional flow. Start by calculating your base operating number, the monthly amount required to maintain your essential lifestyle. Not comfort upgrades, not entertainment spikes, essentials. Housing, utilities, food, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments. That number is your survival baseline. Why is this powerful? Because once you know that number, everything becomes clearer. How much runway your emergency fund truly provides, how risky your career choices are, how much pressure your income actually carries. Without that number, financial stress feels vague. With it, stress becomes measurable. Now here's where most people skip the move. They calculate it once and do nothing structurally different. You must redesign flow so that wealth building happens before lifestyle expansion. In 2026, implement a simple rule. Income enters, fixed obligations handled, automated wealth transfer executes immediately, lifestyle spending receives what remains, not the other way around. If you wait until month end to see what's left, you've already lost. Automation is not laziness. It is protection against your future emotional self. Markets will move, ads will tempt you, friends will upgrade lifestyles, news will trigger fear. Automation removes the need for constant discipline. Even 10 to 20% automated towards investing and long-term savings can completely change your trajectory over 5 years. And if 20% feels impossible, that's feedback. It means your fixed cost structure is too heavy relative to income. Which leads us to the uncomfortable part. Some people don't have an income problem. They have a structural cost problem. Housing consuming 45 to 50% of income, car payments stretching cash flow, subscriptions quietly stacking. If wealth building feels impossible, examine fixed weight before assuming income deficiency. 2026 is not about extreme frugality. It's about intelligent proportion. When your structure is right, growth becomes easier. When it's wrong, growth feels exhausting. Move 1 is about flow discipline. Without it, nothing else compounds properly. Move 2. Build shock resistance before you chase returns. The second move is unexciting, which is why people skip it. Shock resistance. Most investors talk about returns. Very few talk about resilience. An emergency fund is not just a savings account. It is a decision buffer. When you lack liquidity, every surprise becomes a crisis. Car repair? Stress. Medical bill? Credit card. Job instability? Panic. And panic destroys long-term investing discipline. In 2026, aim for 3 layers of protection. Layer 1, immediate buffer, 1 month of base expenses. Layer 2, stability buffer, 3 months. Layer 3, strategic buffer, 6 months if income volatility is high. This is not fear-based planning, it is leverage, because when you are liquid, you negotiate differently. You leave toxic jobs sooner, you decline desperate opportunities, you avoid high-interest traps. Liquidity creates psychological power. And here's what most people miss. A strong emergency fund allows you to invest more confidently. Without it, every market dip feels threatening. With it, dips feel temporary. Shock resistance is not about pessimism. It's about staying in the game long enough for compounding to work. Move 3. Optimize income skill, not just income source. Most financial advice focuses on cutting expenses or investing smarter, but income skill development is often underemphasized. In 2026, job markets will continue evolving rapidly. Automation, AI integration, remote competition, these forces are not slowing down. If your income relies purely on position rather than skill relevance, you are exposed. Instead of asking, how can I make more this year? Ask, what skill increases my earning ceiling for the next decade? Negotiation ability, technical specialization, leadership communication, digital fluency. These compound like investments. A 10% salary increase from negotiation alone can outperform aggressive stock picking. And unlike markets, skill investments are within your control. Set a rule for 2026. Invest in at least one skill that increases future earning leverage. Not randomly, strategically. Income growth without lifestyle inflation accelerates wealth dramatically, which leads directly to move 4, but that's where most people make their biggest mistake.
Move 4 is where financial progress quietly accelerates or silently collapses. It's called lifestyle containment, not deprivation, not extreme minimalism, containment. Most people assume wealth is built by earning more. In reality, wealth is built by controlling expansion speed. Every time income increases, lifestyle tries to follow immediately. Bigger apartment, new car, upgraded wardrobe, more expensive vacations. None of these are inherently wrong. The danger lies in automatic expansion. When income rises and lifestyle expands at the same rate, margin stays flat. Flat margin means no acceleration. And without acceleration, compounding stays slow. In 2026, implement a simple structural rule. When income increases, freeze your lifestyle for 6 months. Not forever. 6 months. Let the difference flow entirely into investments, debt reduction, or liquidity reserves. This accomplishes 2 powerful things. First, it accelerates net worth growth dramatically. Second, it reveals whether the income increase truly improved your position or merely inflated comfort. Most people never experience surplus momentum because they upgrade too fast. Think about it. If your income rises by $10,000 annually and you capture that entire amount for 1 year, that's $10,000 invested. If you do this twice within 5 years, that's $20,000 plus compounding, without working harder. But if you inflate immediately, that opportunity disappears permanently. Lifestyle inflation is silent. It feels deserved. It feels harmless. It feels proportional. But proportional growth in spending cancels exponential growth in wealth. Containment creates asymmetry. Income grows steadily. Lifestyle grows slowly. Margin widens. Widening margin creates optionality. Optionality creates confidence. Confidence creates better long-term decisions. This is how wealth compounds quietly. Now let's address the emotional side. Many people resist containment because they associate it with restriction. But containment is temporary structure, not lifelong denial. You can upgrade. You just upgrade intentionally. Ask one question before any major lifestyle expansion. Does this upgrade reduce or increase my long-term freedom? If the answer is increase because it improves productivity, stability, or happiness sustainably, it may be justified. If the answer is reduce because it adds recurring obligation, pause. In 2026, freedom is the metric, not status. That leads us to move number 5, and this is the one almost nobody talks about. Move number 5, redefine your financial identity. Most financial change fails not because of bad math, it fails because of identity conflict. If you still see yourself as bad with money, if you believe you're just not good at investing, if you assume wealth is for other people, your behavior will quietly align with those beliefs. Identity drives consistency. In 2026, shift from outcome-based identity to system-based identity. To be rich, but I am someone who builds financial systems. Not I hope I invest correctly, but I invest consistently regardless of noise. This subtle shift changes behavior automatically, because once you identify as someone who protects margin, you hesitate before expanding obligations. Once you identify as someone who builds liquidity, you prioritize emergency reserves instinctively. Once you identify as someone who compounds patiently, you stop chasing hype cycles. Identity removes daily friction. Now let's zoom out and connect all 5 moves together. Move 1, redesign flow. Move 2, build shock resistance. Move 3, invest in income skill. Move 4, contain lifestyle expansion. Move 5, shift financial identity. These are not independent tactics. They are a reinforcing loop. Redesigned flow increases margin. Margin funds liquidity. Liquidity stabilizes investing. Stability supports skill investment. Skill growth increases income. Contained lifestyle captures surplus. Captured surplus accelerates wealth. Identity sustains the cycle. Most people break this loop in one place, usually at lifestyle expansion, or at emotional investing, or at skill stagnation. In 2026, your advantage is coherence. Now let's apply this to different life stages.
If you are in your 20s, your advantage is time and flexibility. Your focus should be skill acceleration and aggressive margin capture. Even small investment amounts compound dramatically over decades. Avoid locking yourself into high fixed obligations too early. Flexibility is leverage. If you are in your 30s, you are likely balancing career growth with family or stability goals. This is where lifestyle inflation risk peaks. Income rises quickly, and so do expectations. Containment matters most here. Also, protect against overconcentration risk. Do not tie all security to one employer or one income stream. If you are in your 40s, optimization becomes key. Review retirement contributions carefully. Recalculate runway. Strengthen liquidity. Reduce inefficient debt aggressively if interest rates justify it. At this stage, clarity matters more than experimentation. If you are in your 50s, risk management becomes dominant. Liquidity depth increases in importance. Portfolio allocation should reflect realistic time horizons. Avoid chasing late-stage high-risk returns to catch up. Stability is powerful. Now let's address investing behavior in volatile markets. In 2026, volatility will continue. It always does. The mistake most people make is reacting to short-term movements emotionally. They sell during fear. They buy during hype. Consistency is more powerful than prediction. If you automate investing monthly into diversified assets, you remove timing stress. Market dips become discounted purchases. Market highs become portfolio growth. But this only works if you stay consistent, which brings us back to liquidity. Without emergency reserves, market dips feel threatening. With reserves, they feel temporary. This psychological difference determines long-term outcomes. Now let's talk about debt strategy in 2026. High-interest debt must be neutralized aggressively. Credit cards above 15 to 20% interest destroy compounding. That's mathematical reality. Low-interest debt, however, requires analysis. If your mortgage is locked below long-term investment returns, aggressive payoff may not be optimal. But if carrying debt increases stress significantly, psychological relief has value. The key is intentionality. No automatic assumptions. Every financial decision should pass through 3 filters. Does this increase stability? Does this increase optionality? Does this accelerate compounding? If the answer is yes to at least 2, it's likely aligned. Now let's talk about career volatility. AI will continue reshaping industries. Roles will shift. Skills will become obsolete faster than ever. If you rely solely on tenure rather than adaptability, you increase risk. Allocate time annually to upgrading skill relevance. Even 50 focused hours per year compounds over time. Skill investment is underappreciated wealth insurance. Now imagine 2 people entering 2026. Person A earns well, spends proportionally, invests irregularly, has minimal liquidity, upgrades lifestyle with every raise. Person B redesigned flow, built liquidity, automated investing, contained lifestyle, invested in skill growth. 5 years later, their income difference may be small. Their net worth difference will likely be dramatic. Not because person B worked harder, because person B moved structurally. Structure beats intensity. Now let's project forward. If you implement these 5 moves consistently for 3 years, you will likely have a fully funded emergency reserve, automated investment growth, lower financial anxiety, increased income leverage, measured lifestyle upgrades. That combination changes decision quality. You negotiate differently. You think long-term. You avoid desperation. Financial stress narrows thinking. Financial stability expands it. And that expansion affects every area of life. Relationships improve when money stress decreases. Career decisions improve when fear decreases. Health improves when chronic anxiety drops. Money is not the goal. Control is. 2026 is not about dramatic transformation. It's about structural alignment. Most people will set vague resolutions. Very few will implement structural rules. Be in the minority. If you apply even 3 of these 5 moves fully, you will already outperform the majority financially. Apply all 5, and the compounding effect becomes powerful. And here's the most important reminder. This is not about perfection. It's about direction. There will be unexpected expenses. Markets will fluctuate. Income may shift. The plan is not fragile, it's adaptable. Because it's
Income may shift. The plan is not fragile. It's adaptable because it's built on principles, not predictions. In 2026, clarity beats complexity. Stability beats hype. Structure beats motivation. And identity sustains all of it. The 5 moves are simple, but simple does not mean easy. Consistency is the multiplier. Enter 2026 intentionally. Redesign your flow. Build resilience. Upgrade skills. Contain expansion. Shift identity. Then repeat. And let time do the rest.